Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the On-Center War Memorial Arena here in Syracuse, New York, as the Syracuse Silver Knights look to strengthen their position and try and get one step closer to a playoff berth in the MASL playoffs with a win against Harrisburg today. Hello, everyone. Christian de Guzman with you on the call, joined here by Justin Parr. Jonah Carpo joined me for the second half. And Justin, this could be a very historic day for Syracuse with Joey Tavernier and Lisa Ubi-Parapovich approaching key milestones.
And that's right, two of the best players for the Silver Knights team. Tavernier 2 points away from a Syracuse Silver Knights single season record. He's looking to get 43. He's sitting at 41 right now with 20 goals, 21 assists. And Ubi-Parapovich looking to be the first player in franchise history to reach 200 career goals. What a milestone that would be. Definitely a historic day on the rise for the Silver Knights, and hopefully for them looking for a victory to inch them closer to the MASL playoffs.
For correction there, that's 200 points for Slavica Ubi-Parapovich.
That's what I meant.
Doesn't have quite 200 goals yet, but certainly the Bosnian is well on his way to that mark as well. As for Joey Tavernier, also remember those 21 assists that you mentioned, he needs one more to break the all-time record for assists in a single season as well. So the Queens, New York native and the Bosnian native looking to make history here in the Salt City of Central New York. Let's quickly go through the starting lineups here between the Syracuse Silver Knights and the Harrisburg Heat. For Harrisburg, their strong keeper, Hugo Silva, starts in goal. They have Emil Neto, who actually holds the Syracuse Silver Knights single-season record. Playing in the purple of the Harrisburg Heat today, number 75 in purple, Lucio Gonzaga, Douglas Dos Santos, David Meller, and Danny DePrima will start for the Heat. For the Silver Knights, it's Andrew Kaufwood in goal, so Lisa Ubi-Parapovich, Canardo Forbes, Darren Toby, Bo Yelovak, and Domenico Vitale, who will start for Syracuse. Syracuse wearing very special jerseys today, wearing superhero Spider-Man inspired jerseys as to honor the real superheroes, the first responders of our community, the police and firemen. And we, as always, appreciate what they do for the community.
And a really nice gesture pregame. There was a 50-minute matchup between the fire department and the police department before the game. The police came out with a 7-3 win. Just an overall great day here at the On-Center War Memorial Arena, Christian. Now we're ready for some great soccer right now.
Well, do you really need to know who won that game? In the end, it's the first responders who win every single day. All they do is so much for our community. It's Bo Yelovak races down the left-hand side.
We're the real winners.
Indeed, we are the real winners for having such great men and women who protect our communities every single day. We appreciate all the first responders out there today who do so much to keep our communities safe. Nice frantic start quick here. David Meller picks up the ball. Former Manchester United Academy player dispossessed there by the Rochester native and Jake Schindler. He's battling Meller on the near boards, and here is Canardo Forbes now. Forbes also close to that 200-point mark in his career. He's sitting at 192, so something for him to watch in the coming days as well. Syracuse sitting at 9-7. They're tied with Florida for the second place spot in the MASL Eastern Division. For those of you who don't know how the Ron Newman Cup playoffs work here in the MASL, it's the top two teams in each division that move on to play in those Ron Newman Cup playoffs. And Nate Bordeaux scuffed a shot there, going to put Syracuse up 1-0 early against their Harrisburg Heat.
And in that Eastern Division, you also have Harrisburg, not quite in the playoff race, sitting at 5-12, but definitely an important game for Syracuse, knotted up with Florida, who they have the tiebreaker over, but definitely would like to create some separation.
Harrisburg actually 5-13 after losing to Florida on Friday. It was a 5-2 loss for the Heat to the Florida Tropics back on Friday in Lakeland, Florida, where Harrisburg only scored 2 goals in the third quarter. So the Heat looking for a good rebound performance here as Andrew Kaufman's intended distribution goes into the netting, and it will be a Harrisburg ball. Syracuse in their last game came off a really tough loss against Baltimore. Syracuse, dating back to last season, has now played 4 straight one-goal games to Baltimore, and they've lost all 4. It's been a rough go for the Silver Knights against Baltimore, and the Silver Knights just feel like in every single game against the Blast that they're almost there, that they can almost defeat the Blast when it takes a last-minute goal, like we saw this weekend when Baltimore defeated Milwaukee on a last-second Tony Donatelli goal when he scored with 7 seconds left after Ian Bennett had just equalized. It was a crazy ending to that game in the MASL Game of the Week between Baltimore and Milwaukee.
Baltimore, definitely one of the more storied franchises in the MASL, and sitting at 14-2 this season. Syracuse was close in all of the matchups they've played so far this year. They got to feel good about this season. I mean, they're looking in at the playoffs right now, and if they can handle top competitor Baltimore, they just need to get a little bit better, win those games. They can make a run in these playoffs.
They certainly can, especially for those of you who don't know how the Ron Newman Cup playoffs work as well. It is 2 games in the divisional round between the first and second place teams, as Baltimore will most likely host one of those games. Syracuse and Florida looking to host the other in the MASL Eastern Division. Jake Schindler almost had another own goal to his name in an unfortunate manner this season. Baltimore is sitting comfortably in first place. They do have they do actually have a playoff spot thanks to their win against Milwaukee. They sit at 15-2. Oh, Yelovak trying to fight Danny DePrima there, able to fight him off nicely, and Yelovak will hold him off, but here comes DePrima trying to get past Jake Schindler using some space, but Schindler pokes it back to Coughlin.
Great shield from Jake Schindler. He is a part of a great Syracuse defensive line that's been playing really well lately.
When you consider Syracuse only gave up 4 goals to Cedar Rapids back here at the last game the Silver Knights played at the Onset of War Memorial Arena in a 6-4 win against those Cedar Rapids Rampage. Wasn't a defensive affair against Baltimore, but it was a rare, actually, quote-unquote, normal offensive game for Baltimore. You know, Baltimore's goals against average is below 5, which is so rare to see in the MASL. Shows you what the Baltimore philosophy is, that defensive strong set that Coach Danny Kelly has for Baltimore. And it's paid off in getting that 15-2 record here in the MASL Eastern Division. Syracuse and Florida looking to get that second spot down so Syracuse can improve again their rankings in that MASL Eastern Division. With a win here, they are sitting at 9-7. And also looking to move above 500 at home. Syracuse is sitting at 3-3 at home. Harrisburg not much better on the road. They are 2-7. And also, really where Harrisburg has fallen as Douglas Dos Santos tries a shot. Ball still in a dangerous area for Thiago Freitas. Thiago still throwing the ball, and Savisa trying to poke it away. It's going to be called a handball on Savisa, and this is a dangerous restart for Harrisburg. Harrisburg in the MASL Eastern Division is 1-8. The lone win that Harrisburg actually has is against Baltimore it was at the PA Farm Show Arena. So Harrisburg getting a rare win against Baltimore, but that's all they have to show for against Eastern Division foes this season.
Now the Heat have to come out, try and win its second ever game here at the On Center.
And the shot off the Syracuse wall doesn't find a net. DePrima handles it back up at midfield. And Yelovak providing some nice pressure there, created an unsettled situation, but now Heat have numbers. Shot, and it's across the goal, doesn't able to go in. Looks like it was David Miller there who tried to get a foot on that in the box.
That's a
I'm
great
sorry, that was
effort.
actually Ben Pardue there.
It's a great effort, but just couldn't get the foot on it to get it past a wide open Coughlin. The net was wide open after Coughlin went for the initial ball, but the sliding kick just couldn't get anything on it to get the first goal of this game.
Well, Syracuse now transferring to what Ryan Hall loves. It's that good team possession and for Syracuse to hold on to the ball. That's something that Coach Ryan Hall has told me multiple times is the basic antithesis of this team. It's good team defense, which has shown up pretty well this season. Syracuse only conceding 6.1 goals per game. Large part of that is Andrew Coughlin, a man on the ball right now. But it's really a good team possession that has kept Syracuse in these games as well, being able to settle the ball down like they are doing here and wait for offensive chances to present themselves as Coughlin takes it past the white line.
And we saw early in the season, we saw the skill set of Coughlin, just like the footwork right there. He is a very dominant presence in between the pipes, but he can't do it all on his own. It's been the defensive line. We talked about it, about the Cedar Rapids game. When they step up, this team is going to pick up victories. Can't just be Andrew Coughlin with as great as he is in net.
Yeah, you take a look at some of the defenders who have multiple goals for Syracuse this season. Darren Toby, the man who just made that pass, 6 goals this season. Ben Raymond, who's actually having a fantastic season for himself, 8 goals and 4 assists, really doing well in his second season for Syracuse. So it shows that these defenders are not just doing it defensively, they're doing it offensively as well, as Darren Toby's left-footed shot is blocked and goes over the boards.
And those are the players you need on your team, that versatility, guys who could do it on each end, pressing up.
And Slavisa almost had a good run there, and Patrick Thompson will send the ball into the net. 8:27 left to go in this first quarter. Really frantic pace to this game. You can see both teams are really pushing hard and trying to create a ton of pressure. You see Slavisa already providing pressure on the restart here for the Harrisburg Heat. And eventually that pressure does pay off as Ben Raymond picks it up in the Syracuse defensive zone.
All this pressure creating sloppy shots from each end. No one really able to get a good look on target.
So here's Andrew Coughlin. Looks long for Canado Forbes. And it's out to the former Syracuse Silver Knight and Marcus Chantel. Here's Jake Schindler. Over to Yelovak. Yelovak versus Chantel, a match that we watched last game against the last time that Syracuse and Harrisburg played. Should be another good matchup here as Schindler and Kerstetter get into it a little bit here near the boards. Kerstetter will pick up the ball here. Kerstetter, the three-time Harrisburg Defensive Player of the Year, as Emil Neto holds it up. Trying to go across the boards, and Slavisa will see the ball back to Coughlin. We should also mention this Harrisburg team is missing a key defender in last year's MASL Defender of the Year in Stephen Basso. Stephen Basso is no longer available for the rest of this season. He announced on Instagram that injuries have forced his season to come to an early end. We do wish the best for Stephen Basso as he works on his recovery for next season. That's a big, big loss for this Harrisburg team that really has been leaking goals as of late and not being able to stop many teams. This Harrisburg team is sitting at 4.7 goals scored per game, and so they need all the defensive help they can get if they're not scoring.
And it just shows on the stat sheet, sitting at 5-13 in the Eastern Division. You can't make the playoffs that way. You got to get contributions from other players, and with Basso now out for the season, not a good look for the Heat of what's already been a dismal season. Just adds on to the misery.
Yeah, so you might see 13 in purple being worn today. That's actually Ben Pardue. He was in Stephen Basso's jersey. That is not the captain of the Harrisburg Heat. It is instead Ben Pardue, the first-year Harrisburg Heat member who played his college soccer at Towson University. We're over halfway through this first quarter here, and there's still no score between Syracuse and Harrisburg as there's the history man in waiting, Joey Tavernier battling against Chantel. Tavernier so slippery through those boards, but instead it falls to the feet of Lucio Gonzaga.
A lot of opposing teams like to send that double team to Tavernier in that left corner, but his footwork is just so great. More often than not, he creates great opportunities for both himself and his teammates.
Here's DePrima on the ball. Had a goal last time here at on Center War Memorial Arena, although that was really in quote-unquote garbage time for Harrisburg, scoring when there was a sixth attacker and down 3. Syracuse winning the last game that these teams have played back in the Onset War Memorial Arena back on December 29th, as the Silver Knights won 8-6 in that game. Syracuse has dominated Harrisburg traditionally in this matchup. Syracuse is 14-2 against the Heat. Domenico Vitale picks it up on the near boards. Intercepted there though by DePrima. He'll try a right-footed shot, I should say, and it's into the netting. And we'll take an official timeout here. So 5:12 left to go in this first period. Again, like Justin and I have said, really frantic pace to this game. Still no score. But 5:12 left to go in the first quarter. Welcome back to Syracuse Silver Knights Soccer here on MASL.TV. You are watching the Syracuse Silver Knights on MASL.TV. Catch every game each week on the league's official streaming home, MASL.TV. Syracuse will restart here with a goalkeeper distribution from Andrew Coughlin. 5:12 left to go in this first period. No shots on goal yet from either team. Both teams have had at least one chance. However, not being able to make use of it as Coughlin gets the ball into midfield. Marcus Chantel picks it up, lifts it in back into the Syracuse defensive zone, and Coughlin picks the ball back up.
We've been talking all game long about the pace, just how quick and frantic it really is. It's not creating great opportunities for either team.
Visa went for goal there, and that shot missed wide right. Here's Chantel. Dispossessed by Ben Raymond, though. Raymond taken to the ground by Chantel. Referees are going to blow the whistle.
Getting a little chippy here at the On-Center War Memorial Arena.
That's the former Syracuse Silver Knight and Marcus Chantel. Chantel spent 4 years with Syracuse, 7 goals and 4 assists in his Silver Knights career. So Visa off the boards on again, and Kirsten are able to pick it up, beating Ben Raymond to the ball. Remember, we are on history watch here at the On-Center Memorial Arena. So Visa needs one more point to get to 200 points in a Syracuse Silver Knights uniform. Joey Tavernier needs 2 more points to set a new single-season record, and 1 more assist to set a new single-season record as well.
Tavernier definitely has an ample opportunity today, as he traditionally this year has done well against the Heat. He has 4 points in the first matchup and 3 in the second.
Yeah, both of those, including the hat trick in the first game this year that Syracuse and the Harrisburg Heat played, and led to an MASL Team of the Week honor for Tavernier. The first of many that he's received this season. He's now up to 3. Obviously nowhere close to Ian Bennett's record. Not sure what that is, but you know, Ian Bennett's just been bossing it up this entire MASL season. Shows why he's been such a key part to the Milwaukee Waves' success this year. They're narrowly just losing to Baltimore last night. Hey, Bordeaux has space. Bordeaux off the boards. Had no one in front of him but Hugo Silva, and just couldn't get the shot on target there.
Great look by Bordeaux. Just a little bit too much power caused it to go just off target.
That's Syracuse's first real offensive chance there, and Bordeaux not able to find the cage here at the On-Center War Memorial Arena. So we're still held scoreless here between the Silver Knights and the Harrisburg Heat. David Miller on the ball. He's looking along for a wide open Neto, who has no one around him. Darren Toby able to close him down and block Neto's shot, though. Minico Vitale picks it up. Forbes over to Bordeaux. Nice play there from the tiki-taka of Bordeaux and Forbes instead of settle down for Vitale, and here's now Darren Toby.
Bordeaux passing it backwards. Looks like he could have maybe found the open man down the right seam and gotten a real opportunity. Instead just settles it down, and now the ball with Tavernier on the left side.
So Visa back over to Forbes. Forbes looking for Tavernier, and that was almost his first point. 1 more point closer to history. Instead, it's stopped by Hugo Silva.
Wow, what a look from Tavernier.
Bernardo Forbes wins it in midfield, though. Does a nice move to get the ball away from DePrima. And now Tavernier has all the space he wants down the right-hand side. And that shot goes through the legs of Hugo Silva. And Joey Tavernier has 42 points on the season.
Right through the 5-hole of Silva. What a way to tie the single-season points record for Joey Tavernier after attempting to make it on a sick move. Instead, it's just a powerful shot that goes right through the goaltender's legs. 1-0 Silver Knights.
Joey Tavernier, 21 goals, 21 assists, 42 points on the season. He needs 1 more point to set a new single-season record. 4 points by a Syracuse Silver Knight. And Hugo Silva, who leads the MASL in saves, just couldn't stop that one from going in between his legs. We haven't mentioned this a lot today, Justin, but these are 2 of the best keepers in the MASL, so scoring chances all the scoring chances we've seen are costing a premium with all the fantastic work that both Andrew Coughlin and Hugo Silva do in front of their respective nets.
That's right, Christian. Each goaltender has a 69% save percentage. Pretty nice, if you ask me, compared to the rest of the keepers in the MASL.
Here's Ben Raymond. Ben Raymond has space! Nice job from Bo Yalvak there to set up Ben Raymond, who had all the space he wanted in the world. And there's Ben Raymond's 9th goal of the season.
A reigning member of the MASL Team of the Week with 2 goals against Cedar Rapids last weekend. Ben Raymond staying hot for Syracuse to make this a 2-0 advantage late in the first quarter.
I just can't feel good for Hugo Silva. The last game that the Harrisburg Heat played against the Tropics back on Friday, still Hugo Silva had 24 saves in that game. Not seeing the same success here today as the Silver Knights have an early 2-0 lead here in the first quarter.
And Christian, you got to blame Silva on these goals. Not too great.
Great save from Andrew Coughlin to his left. Sorry to interrupt you there, but that was a fantastic save from the Baldwinsville native.
And just one of the best keepers in this league, just shown on display right there from Andrew Coughlin.
Now Salvisa looking for Forbes now, who has space on the right-hand side, closed down by Dos Santos. And now here's Salvisa. Domenico Fatawe. Over to Jake Schindler. Jake Schindler being marked there by Thiago. And Forbes will pass back to Andrew Coughlin. 35 seconds left in this quarter. Syracuse has a 2-0 lead. Salvisa with a quick look at the clock there to confirm the little time that Syracuse has left. So Coughlin now looks long for Joey Tavernisi. Ball a little too high for Coughlin, though, I should say for Tavernisi, as it bounced off the board. Nice job by Dos Santos to head the ball back over to Silva. Now Dos Santos and Thiago. Signing gets the ball. It is going to be Thiago. 10 seconds left for the Heat to try and scrape something from this quarter. Meller's left-footed shot blocked there by Bernardo Forbes. 4 seconds left. Douglas Dos Santos blocked there by Darren Toby. And that'll end the first quarter. Joey Tavernisi and Ben Raymond, the goal scorers here for Syracuse, and at the end of 1 quarter of play, Syracuse has a 2-0 lead over the Harrisburg Heat. We'll be right back here on MASL.TV. Second quarter about to get underway here between the Syracuse Silver Knights and the Harrisburg Heat. Syracuse holds a 2-0 lead over Harrisburg. It's Joey Tavernier and Ben Raymond who hold the goals here for Syracuse. Tavernier now on 42 points on the season. Needs one more to break that all-time single-season record in points. One more assist also will do the same for him in that category. Tavernier will get us started here in this second quarter as Jake Sindler has the ball. Back over to Liam Callahan. Andrew Coughlin. He'll look for Kevin Escobar. Chantel able to poke the ball away though, but it goes to Ben Raymond. Schindler almost tripped over the ball here. Pressure coming from Lucio Gonzaga. Here comes the double from Neto as well, and Harrisburg almost has the ball out, but instead it does go over to Gonzaga. Gonzaga goes for a shot, and it looks like he might have been looking for a ball off the boards there. Instead, it goes into the netting.
Good pressure by the Heat to just suffocate that ball out of Jake Schindler's possession. No help from anyone in an orange jersey for Schindler to get the ball out to. He tried to make some moves on his own, just couldn't get past the purple jerseys.
Savisa picks the ball up, and now here's Ben Raymond down the left-hand side. Now Teixeira, who's wearing the captain's armband in the presence of Stephen Bassa. Ben Raymond also had some space. Forbes looked for Raymond in the middle of the park, and yeah, that's procedure violation on the Harrisburg Heat. Defensive clearance gives a top of the arc opportunity for Syracuse, and the Bosnian has his left foot free and ready on the ball. Forbes lays it off for Bo Yelovak, and Tavernier almost able to put it in on far post. The ball's just slipped past his right foot. And Tavernier will again scuff a shot. It's easy for Hugo Silva to save.
Can you get a better look at the net if you're Joey Tavernier to make history? He just missed it. Very uncharacteristic of someone who's just been so great all season long. That was his shot. I'm sure he'll get another one like it in just a few moments.
And then you got to respect the pass also from Bo Yelovak, who was able to thread that ball nicely through the Harrisburg defense to find Tavernier on that back post lurking there. That's how Tavernier scored a ton of his goals this season, just lurking on one of the posts and able to just put the ball in with a simple tap-in. But Harrisburg now has the ball in their offensive zone. Not for long, though, as Tavernier now runs past the midfield line. Has one man to beat. Not able to beat Neto, though, who is probably thinking, hey,
stopped him from beating his own record
exactly.
right there.
But now Lucio Gonzaga able to get freed down the left-hand side, and Gonzaga not able to hit the target as he goes to the right of the goal. Meller now has a ton of space to find a man. Tawe pushes Pardew off the ball. Here's Kerstetter going off the boards, looking for Meller in the box. Can't find him, though, and Slavisa will clear it away. Yeah, the theme of this game has been speed. There's a lot of passing, not so much of this, what we see right now, not so much the settling down, waiting for the play to develop. It's been a lot of back and forth, running up and down the field.
It's kind of like a track meet. You just want to get the ball down and fast break to score goals. No team setting up any real plays or sets to get open shots. It's very, very frantic.
You saw Patrick Thompson there, the former Harrisburg Heat member, running all across the on-center War Memorial Field here, as both teams are applying a good amount of pressure here to try and force mistakes. Neto one-on-one with Vitawe, looking for Danny DePrima, and Thompson able to block it into the boards. And a nice back heel from Yelovak to get the ball to Bordeaux, and Silver Knights will look to retain possession. Bordeaux across midfield, finds Canardo Forbes on the right-hand side. Forbes try to find Bordeaux with his left foot. Eventually does find him, and now Forbes with his right foot free. And a block there from a Heat defender, able to slow the ball down enough for Hugo Silva. 11:38 left to go in this second period. Silver Knights with a 2-0 lead. Ben Raymond and Neto racing after the ball on the far boards. It's Neto who gets there first. The pressure coming here from Raymond and Bordeaux. Bordeaux will get it out, and Coughlin's left-footed clearance will go only as far as Thiago. Here's Leguas dos Santos.
Harrisburg looking to be a little more conservative right now in the second quarter, realizing that its fast-paced play in the first quarter wasn't doing much against this Syracuse defense.
Jago with some nice footwork here to keep possession. Here's Jake Schindler. Trying to find Bernardo Forbes there. Thiago just wrestles into the ground. Here's Raul Teixeira. Back over to Thiago. Thiago not able to keep the possession for long, though, but here's Douglas Dos Santos. Try to crossing pass here for Teixeira. Instead, the ball finds Ben Raymond.
The officials letting him play in this Eastern Division rivalry matchup. A lot of contact, but not a lot of whistles.
Tyler Fabian tries a right-footed shot, and it's off Ben Raymond's body. Another effort blocked there by Raymond, and Jake Schindler picks it up. Pressured here coming from Fabian and Gonzaga. It is Fabian who tries to go off the boards, and Coughlin able to pick it up cleanly. And now he'll look long. Tried to find a run of Nate Bordeaux there, but instead it's Marcus Chantal who picks it up in the corner of the Harrisburg defensive zone.
I don't understand why you just give that ball away. If you're Syracuse, you want to try and increase this league. And the way you do that best on this team, make passes. You have guys like Joey Tavernier with 21 assists on the season. That doesn't come from making plays like that. It comes from set pieces. You need all 5 guys above midfield.
Coughlin probably just wanted to try and start a fast break for himself there and wasn't able to do so. Neto off the near post, and Patrick Thompson picks it up. Here's Tavernisi. Has Ben Raymond down on the right-hand side. Instead, we'll try to find Thompson, but it's De Prima who gets there first. De Prima goes off the boards, and Silvisa gets taken to the ground, and it's picked up here by David Miller. Miller now over to Ben Pardue. He's pressured there hard by Domenico Vitale, and Vitale is going to be called for pushing Pardue into the boards, and you can see the Syracuse native does not like that call.
Neither does Joey Tavernier. Chirping a little bit with the official.
Harrisburg with the restart here, and De Prima tried to find Gonzaga, but he didn't realize Gonzaga was coming off for a change. Thiago was able to pick the ball up, but perhaps a missed opportunity here for the Heat, as De Prima had no idea Gonzaga was coming off the field, and now here's the Heat. Dos Santos looking for the ball there, but it's that good defense there from Tavernisi, and the Silver Knights pick it back up. It's Patrick Thompson. Nice job from Dos Santos, though, for the pressure. So it falls into the hands of Andrew Coughlin. And now he has Nate Bordeaux all alone down the left-hand side. Kerster closing him in. That ball's high in the air. And Jake Schindler tried to win a 50-50 with Hugo Silva, but instead it's Schindler who's called for the foul. And Hugo Silva probably angry that there wasn't a blue card shown to Jake Schindler. Silva with the distribution out of his own net. 8:35 left to go in this second quarter. Knights with a 2-0 lead. No goals in this quarter. Joey Tavernisi and Ben Raymond, the lone goals in the first quarter of play. Vitale with the restart.
Christian, I'm really waiting for one team to get a good offensive possession. We haven't seen too many of that in this game at all. It's a lot of sloppy play offensively. I don't know if that's because the pressure from the defense is so strong and overpowering, or if it's just that neither offense could really get anything going.
Forbes will try to get something going, and it's Neto who clears the ball over the boards for a Syracuse restart. Here's Toby. Over to Yellowrock. Back over to Forbes. And now Vitale in the middle of the park. Vitale with right-footed shot. Goes high and just wide. And Silvisa picks it up in midfield.
It's a rocket from Domenico Vitale.
Vitale with a goal and assist to his name this season. He's 17 blocks as well, although that's nowhere near the total of the 28 blocks that Darren Toby has. Nevertheless, that duo has proven so successful for Syracuse at the back in front of Andrew Coughlin. Unsettled situation here. It's Yellowrock who eventually gets the ball. And he's going to try and hold off Kerstetter here and finds Vitale on near boards. Douglas Dos Santos wins the ball back, though. Dos Santos, and that shot just over the bar.
Oof, a lot of close looks. Keeping Andrew Coughlin and Silva honest.
Great job from Vitale to win the ball back. Here's Forbes after a nice pass from Yellowrock. Bernardo Forbes, great save. Here goes Silva, and this will be Silvi Parapovic. History for the Syracuse Silver Knights. The goal for Slavica, his 16th of the season, and his 200th point in a Silver Knights uniform. Congratulations to the Bosnian.
200 points, something no Syracuse Silver Knight has ever done. And it comes off a deflection from the shot of his teammate that's been with him through the entire time, Canardo Forbes. What a great moment as the team huddles up for this on the field timeout. A lot of congratulations in that huddle right now.
Slavica Ubi Parapovic with 200 points. Canardo Forbes with 193 now after that great assist. But now here, the Silver Knights lead 3-0 over the Harrisburg Heat. Timeout on the field. So quick correction here, Forbes does not get the assist on that, so he still has to wait a little bit longer for the 200 mark. Forbes still sitting at 192, so you would expect with a player of his quality, he should be able to reach that at some point this season.
Of course he will, Christian. He's so important to this Syracuse team. He's been doing well all season long. He currently has 25 points with 14 goals and 11 assists. His time is coming. He might not be the next Silver Knight to make history, but he'll definitely be there sometime this year.
Before we restart, Syracuse Silver Knights would like to thank Miter USA for providing today's match balls. Miter, founded in Huddersfield, England, is among the world's oldest sporting goods brands, starting production in 1817. Miter is a proud partner of Major League Soccer, providing arena-specific match balls to both the MASL and the MASL2. We're at 3-0 with the Silver Knights leading in the second quarter of play between Syracuse and Harrisburg. 7:04 left to go in the second period, and Slavica Ubi Parapovic just made Silver Knights history, becoming the first Silver Knight ever to reach 200 points in a Syracuse uniform. So congratulations to the Bosnian, one of a few players on this team who has spent all 7 years with the organization. As Harrisburg looks to restart here. Neto couldn't get the ball out of the boards, and it's Joey Tavernier who clears it away. Harrisburg with the restart.
Right there you saw an example of the suffocating defense from Syracuse, forcing bad decisions from the Heat. Luckily they have a free kick from the left stripe.
Miller lays it off for Thiago. Thiago's assist numbers still starting to hold. Thiago with 25 assists. The Prima shot blocked by Coughlin. Coughlin able to get the ball before it crosses the goal line.
And great reflexes from the keeper, Andrew Coughlin.
They'll distribute for Darren Toby, but back over to Coughlin. Coughlin looking along for Tavernier. It's Marcus Chantello picks it up. Tavernier with a right foot, able to poke it away though. Raymond and Bordeaux now looking along for Tavernier. Tavernier, the chip! More history for the Silver Knights. Joey Tavernier with his 22nd goal of the season. The 43rd point of his season, and that is a new Syracuse Silver Knights record.
Second goal of the day for Tavernier. Already only 17 games into the season, the single season points record. Congratulations to Joey Tavernier. 4-0 Syracuse. What a day we are seeing here at the On Center War Memorial Arena.
So Joey Tavernier with 2 goals today moves himself to 22 on the season. Still has that assist record to look for as well. He's still sitting at 21. That's held by 3 Silver Knights players, 1 current and 2 former. Ronald Forbes with 21 assists last season. Nelson Santana, Mako Millwood, I should say, the others.
What a day it is to be a Silver Knight. Christian, we've had the pleasure of watching these guys all season long and seeing what they've been able to do on the pitch this year. It's really just been a pleasure.
So 4-0 Silver Knights, and they have an opportunity here to increase that to 5-0 with the top of the arc restart here from the Bosnian Slavica Ubi Parapovic. Here's Slavica. Nice set play here from Syracuse Silver Knights, and there's Joey Tavernier, who has a hat trick now.
And what a day it's been for Joey Tavernier. The third time he's played Harrisburg this season, already has his second hat trick in the first half, has made history, setting the Silver Knights record for most points in the season. Man, what a day it is for number 27 in orange.
And we saw that earlier in the game with a top-of-the-arc restart, a Bo Yalvok having space on the right-hand side. Didn't work out for the Silver Knights then, but they're a beautiful executed play there. Looks like they just got some practice on the first one.
If at first you don't succeed, try again, Christian.
And that gives Joey Tavernier his second hat trick against the Harrisburg Heat this season. And now Harrisburg down 5-0, need to get something done quickly. Gonzaga tries to find Thiago. Lucio Gonzaga not able to get a good effort on target, though. Hugo Silva picks up the ball.
Harrisburg just looks lost out there, Christian. They can't get anything going offensively, and you could see the frustration from the players.
Yalvok taken to the ground by Dos Santos, and that's a restart here for Syracuse. Thing is, this arena soccer game is all about momentum, though. The Harrisburg Heat have been known to string together goals against the Silver Knights. Syracuse can't rest on this 5-0 lead, though. As impressive as they probably have performed in this first quarter, Coach Ryan Hall probably isn't still satisfied with some of the play that Syracuse has put up. Still trying to get more and more and more ahead in this game.
Of course, you got to be happy with the lead going into halftime in about 4 minutes, 30 seconds.
Well, you would assume that Syracuse has the lead.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Coach Ryan Hall will not be satisfied with anything until the clock hit 00 in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, he wants to see a full 60 minutes from this team. That's something that Coach Ryan Hall has always been looking for, a full 60 minutes from this entire Syracuse Silver Knights squad. And shows just kind of a culture shift that has been taken in this Syracuse Silver Knights locker room. You know, at the beginning of the season, I was talking with Bo Yalvok and Svisuri Parapovic. They were telling me how excited they were that Coach Ryan Hall was starting his first full season with Syracuse. It kind of signaled a new restart for them, an ability to really reset their brains after not making playoffs last year. 8-12. It was actually Harrisburg last year who got that second spot in the MASL Eastern Division with a 10-10 record. And actually, they took a game off Baltimore in the first round of the MASL playoffs. So this is a Harrisburg team who did find success last year, not finding it this year, and Syracuse, who was hungry to find that success yet again after making the playoffs for 3 straight years in a row before last season.
When you talk about head coach Ryan Hall, we're at practice, and in the mornings, you see really how Coach Hall connects with the players. They're warming up in their circle where it's 2 in the middle trying to chase the ball, and Coach Ryan Hall is always there with them, laughing, having a good time. These guys genuinely like playing for him, and it shows on the pitch in games like this where they're fighting for playoff spots and they're not letting up.
Of course, Ryan Hall, a former Syracuse Silver Knight himself, back in 2011, Hall with a decorated indoor soccer career spanning over 8 years. Played as a defender before that at Syracuse University, so you know he's been around the game for a while. David Miller, left-footed shot off the near post. Acrobatic save from Coughlin after the acrobatic shot from Neto.
Kind of a premature jump from Coughlin, but he's able to get his legs in the right position to block that one.
And a scrum in the corner there. Bernardo Forge trying to get it out for Syracuse. Instead, it's Danny DePrimo who now has it for the Harrisburg Heat. Slavisa providing some pressure there on Leandro. DePrimo. Here's Thiago. 2:20 left to go in this second quarter. 5-0 is the Syracuse Silver Knight lead.
Syracuse forwards still applying pressure even though they're up by 5 goals. They know that no lead is safe in the MASL and that this is a must win.
Yeah, and Harrisburg could get some momentum here with a good attack. Bruno Ramos tried to flick it back for someone, but Thiago was too late to that, and Syracuse able to win back possession. There's Tavernier back in the defensive zone, and he'll clear the ball away. Under 2 minutes now left to go in this second period. Again, 2 goals from Joey Tavernier in this quarter, as well as a goal from Slavica Ubiparapovic. Gives us the 5-0 lead that we are at right now. Tavernier also with a goal in the first quarter, along with Ben Raymond. Bernardo Forbes wins the ball back from a bad pass from Marcus Chantel. And Forbes trying to settle things down here. We're under 90 seconds left to go in the first half here. Foul is eventually called after a lot of protests coming from the Harrisburg Heat.
Bernardo lucky he didn't get a blue card on that one. He did what looks to be intentionally stuck his leg out to trip Tiago.
Chantel looking for Neto. Here's Bruno Ramos. Back over to Neto, playing target man. So we'll find Kerstetter. Over to Gonzaga. Vitale able to intercept the ball, and here's Liam Callahan and Coughlin punching the ball away. And it's going to be called a blue card onto Coughlin, and they're going to get him for touching the ball for outside the box. So with 1 minute left to go in the first quarter, it'll be Kevin Escobar who goes to the box, since Syracuse can't send Coughlin to serve the penalty because of Coughlin touching the ball outside the box. That's a shootout attempt here for Harrisburg, so I have the potential here to go finally get on the board. The shootout rules here in the MASL. Coughlin has to start with a foot on the goal line. Gonzaga will start the ball from the shootout spot there on the white line. Coughlin can only stay in the box until a shot is taken. Gonzaga pointing out that Coughlin does have to start with a foot on the line.
Christian, this would be a huge momentum shift in this game. Harrisburg desperately looking to see points on the board under that Heat name on the scoreboard, and this is a great opportunity to do so.
And this is still dangerous for Syracuse, because if Harrisburg doesn't score, it's still a power play. Gonzaga on the shootout, able to place it past Coughlin, and there the Heat are on the board.
Gonzaga getting his 16th goal this season. He now has 20 points, and a very important one at the end of this first half to give Harrisburg some type of hope to somehow cut this lead down in the second half.
So the silver lining here, the power play is extinguished, but that comes at the cost of 1 goal after Gonzaga able to place it past Coughlin's left to score for Harrisburg, and now it is 5-1 in favor of the Syracuse Silver Knights. You could hear the on-center crowd showing this displeasure with the referees there. It definitely did look like Coughlin did have a foot outside when he did punch that ball away. So
it's a very tough call to make in that situation, but I think the officials got it right. Now if you're Syracuse, I think you try and hold it, but I guess that's not the call as they look to push.
Chantel winning the ball back from Bernardo Forbes. It's Slavica who gets it to Ben Raymond. Here's Bo Yelovak all alone on the left-hand side. Instead, we'll find Darren Toby, who will settle things down. 30 seconds now left as Syracuse looks for a potential 6th goal in this quarter. Slavica finds Ben Raymond. Gets around Marcus Chantel. A bunch of Harrisburg Heat men around Raymond, and the ball will settle down here. Slavica and Canardo content to just pass it back between each other as they try to kill the rest of this quarter. Forbes pass intended for Yelovak. Intercepted there by Chantel. Heat still looking to do something, but that ball goes off the referee. Now Bo Yelovak might have something here with little time in the quarter. Yelovak! Great save here by Silva, and a shot from Raymond won't connect before the horn sounds.
Referee almost getting an assist for Syracuse at the end of that quarter. Would have been deadly for the Heat.
So Syracuse with a 5-1 lead over Harrisburg as we go into halftime break, and already a hat trick for Joey Tavernier. We'll be back here on MASL.TV after the halftime break with the Syracuse Silver Knights up 5-1.
It's the Dumb and Performing Kismet Donut Toss that benefits the Syracuse Silver Knight Foundation. We got a winner right there. Silver Knight Foundation, Genie gets one bowl at a time. You've got 25 seconds left on the donut toss. If you got them, throw them. Let them go, let them go. Oh, got a few that are close. These donuts help fund programs like Running and Reading, our Eagle School Reading Program, as well as the Next Go Down. Oh, in and out, nice toss though. Got 20 seconds left to the end of the donut toss. And let's clean them up. While they're picking up the donuts, we're going to do another round of skeet shooting. We have Jackie here. Jackie's from Mexico. Don't worry. She's from the Mexico, New York. We just flew. Silver Knight's got a gun for you. You're going to tell me to pull. I'm going to throw it. You're going to try and hit it. You hit it, you win a pizza from Papino's. You got to take the t-shirt gun. Apparently Jackie was not paying attention earlier. Let's move on. Great job, guys. Great job, guys. Are you ready, Jackie? You tell me when to go. No! Nothing. We're going to go to the other side. We're going to give Jackie one more try. Let's bring all our cosplayers out onto the field. Let's bring all of our cosplayers out onto the field. Watch this. This is being our reading. A Syracuse tradition since 1968. Papino's restaurant and catering. Catering for all your corporate and private functions. 1849 Grand Boulevard, Syracuse, New York. Give them a call at 315-422-2395. CPA's on that hard. Are you ready? Here we go. Oh! She put the t-shirt in the press box. Oh my goodness. All right, good job, Jackie. We're good. Let's bring all my cosplayers out. Come up with me in center field. Come on out, all our cosplayers. Danny, turn the music down. So what would be real superhero night without all our cosplayers? We've got Spider-Man here, we've got Wonder Woman, Superwoman, a different Spider-Man, a Jedi, of course, another Wonder Woman, and Doctor Strange. So, we want to give those guys a great big round of applause, and then we're going to let them speak a little bit. So let's thank all our cosplayers for coming out. And I got told that the representative from the group wanted to say something quickly.
I know this might seem strange, but you've been my Wonder Woman since the day we met. And there's only one way to know what's not her better. Will you marry me?
Thank you, guys. And congratulations to Doctor Strange and Wonder Woman. Doesn't get a whole lot better than that. That's a first for the Syracuse Silver Knights. Hey, let's bring the dance team out and let's get some t-shirt tossing going on. Come on, all you guys can help toss the t-shirt. Grab your t-shirts, you guys can throw t-shirts too. some noise if you want those t-shirts. Let's hear it, let's hear it, let's make some noise. Oh, look who's here, it's Anthony Falso. And the Falso kids and all their friends. Anthony Falso Insurance. For all your insurance needs, either car, boat, motorcycle, or tractor trailer insurance. Check it out. Go to Anthony Falso Insurance. Anthony Falso Insurance. We're just 2 minutes away till the second half. That's another Blue Rock halftime show. Remember to stay after tonight's match for the post-game jersey auction. The jerseys that the Syracuse Silver Knights are wearing today, sponsored by Syracuse Orthopedic Specialists, will be auctioned off with a portion of the proceeds to benefit police, fire, and first responder charities. Tonight's first responders are TLC, the EMS company of the Syracuse Silver Knights, TLC, Medical Transportation Services.
Welcome back to Syracuse Silver Knights Soccer here on MASL.TV. Second half about to get underway, and it's Syracuse with a 5-1 lead. Christian Guzman here on the broadcast, joined here in the second half by Jonah Karp. Jonah, how are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty well, Christian. It's superhero night.
It is indeed Superhero Night for those of you who are just joining us. Syracuse wearing these special jerseys in honor of the real superheroes, our first responders, and those who protect us in our local communities. We thank each and every one of you who is a policeman, firefighter, EMT, or any other first responder out there who do so much to protect our community. And speaking of guys who do a good job protecting things, Andrew Coughlin doing a good job protecting the net today. Another good fine save there from the Baldwinsville native.
He's done a couple of Superman dives today. All you need to add is a cape right now. Andrew Coughlin looking like Clark Kent. Well, maybe not there.
Not quite there, as Danny DePrima has his second goal this season against a Syracuse Silver Knight, against the Syracuse Silver Knights, and the Heat now with a 5-2 lead.
He couldn't really place it any better than that right there.
No,
but
that's a beautifully struck shot there from Danny DePrima.
It really was. Andrew Coughlin had a lot of great saves in the first half, and a lot of them were off of some bad deflections for the Heat in the first half. But, Andrew Coughlin was pretty much as good as you can draw it up for him. He had the tough break toward the end of the half, a one-on-one matchup with the top goal scorer for the Heat in Gonzaga. But aside from that, there was really no momentum swung in the favor of the Heat heading into the second half, and that in large part was because of Andrew Coughlin.
Yeah, you don't have much time to prepare yourself for a shootout goal here, and Lucio Gonzaga able to capitalize on Coughlin's small mistake, you could say. Really wasn't that huge of a mistake, just being outside of the box temporarily. Didn't really notice it. As Nate Bordeaux with a shot, it's blocked by Kerstetter. Harrisburg pleading for handball off of Bordeaux, but no call from the referees. Here's a story in the first half. Big Rav Trav, Joey Tavernier breaking the all-time single-season record for points with his hat trick in the first quarter. As Ben Raymond has a goal to his name, tried to go down the left-hand side. Couldn't find anyone, though, with Jake Schindler and Thiago race after the ball. And Bordeaux now has it on the left-hand side. Still Bordeaux, crushed against the boards by Teixeira, and eventually tripped up there by both Teixeira and Tyler Fabian. It's a restart here for Syracuse.
Well, you mentioned how good Joey Tavernier was in the first half, tallying a hat trick, breaking the all-time single-season points record in Syracuse history. Just phenomenal. All season long, he's been the go-to guy. And how many games are there left for Syracuse?
Well, I can tell you how many games there are left for Syracuse. There are exactly 6, including this game.
So there are 5 games after this one left, and Joey Tavernier has already broken the points record in a single season. Just absolutely unbelievable.
Teixeira tried to chip onto Coughlin, and especially considering when you have the foremost points record holder here in Neto, and Tavernier has done this in 17 games.
Yeah.
Which is by far and away the most impressive, that he still has time to improve on this as well, as Syracuse is able to gobble back up. And considering one of the teams that Syracuse has in order to, and on their final stretch here, 2 games against St. Louis. Although St. Louis, according to Tommy Tanner, has always been a strong team this year. They've just been unlucky here and there.
Yeah.
But you can't deny only 3 wins this season.
No, you can't. And Syracuse took advantage of them when they went down to St. Louis earlier this season. So
in that brutal 3-game
yeah.
stretch, most of us in the Syracuse Silver Knights office, as a shot, not able to find Hohead. Fatale absolutely runs over Leonardo there to get the ball away. Kerstetter right-footed shot, goes off Leonardo there. So Coughlin attempt to make the save there, although Leonardo able to help.
Okay, well, a couple things there. Vitale, a great recovery on defense because Coughlin was all the way to the right of the box. But I don't know what happened with Coughlin there. It was like when you press the wrong button in Madden and the player falls and it's nowhere near the ball.
He was expecting the shot from Kerstetter. He just wasn't expecting that number 5 in purple was there to block it as well.
At least he was prepared.
He was indeed, but here's Miller down the left-hand side, and that's a great goal from David Miller. Like it since Ryan Hall wants a timeout soon, and they're just a signal for a timeout after a beautiful left-footed shot from David Miller has given Harrisburg momentum in this quarter. 2 goals for them, and now it's only a 5-3 game.
Yeah, and both of those goals were beautifully placed. The first one under the outstretched arms of Andrew Coughlin, and this one, you just really couldn't do anything. Andrew Coughlin is not 9 feet tall, and because of that, he just that was placed in the upper right-hand corner of the net. It was out of the reach of really anybody who could have played goal for Syracuse. Andrew Coughlin looking like a superhero in the first half. Couldn't really do much there.
We'll return here to the onto the Royal Arena after Ryan Hall's timeout. It's 5-3 Silver Knights after the Heat have trimmed the lead to 2.
Anna Hogan, and one of our great cosplayers, Ryan Stevenson. Great job and congratulations. Happy birthday. Thanks for coming here at the Syracuse Silver Knights. The Syracuse Silver Knights would also like to welcome the Beeville Flash to tonight's game. Great job. Thanks for coming, Beeville. We love you guys. We got a very, very special birthday in section 20. Happy birthday to Miss Perrin. Silver Knights got a special gift for you. Happy birthday.
Syracuse restarts
Thank
here,
you.
now only up 5-3 after 2 goals from the Harrisburg Heat in this quarter. David Miller getting the latest goal, the former Manchester United Academy player from Oldham, England, getting the Heat their 3rd goal of the game. Coughlin looking along for Tavernier. Already a hat trick to Tavernier's name this year. And Prima heads the ball away off the boards. Patrick Thompson over to Tavernier. Jake Schindler not able to get the ball on target. And multiple players are down here for both Syracuse and Harrisburg. It's not a good look for Jake Schindler there. Doesn't look like he could put much pressure there on his right foot yet, and he goes back down to the ground. Another Harrisburg Heat player still down there. Jake Schindler is having a tough time walking off under his own power here.
Yeah, well, kudos to him for getting off the field under his own power, but he's walking very gingerly, as you could see. There's a very noticeable limp, but at least he's putting pressure on both of his legs. It looks like it's his right leg.
Yeah,
right?
It does look like it's like on his right leg or right ankle.
Yeah.
Harrisburg player on the ground was Douglas Dos Santos. Looks like he's jogging off the field. So good to see that both players can somewhat walk off under their own power. Hopefully at some point they can return to this game instead of right now as we resume play here. It's a restart for Syracuse in the corner. Savisa Tavernier looking for his 4th goal. Still Tavernier, great saves from Hugo Silva. Tavernier pushes Gonzaga to the ground, but just before there, Hugo Silva is leading the MASL in saves coming into this game. Harrisburg restarts here. Marcus Chantel on the ball. He's looking long for Neto. Neto going up against Darren Toby. Chantel. Now find Kerstetter. And a flick on here from Gonzaga. Back over to Lucio. 10:18 left to go in this 3rd period. Already 2 goals for the Harrisburg Heat in this quarter. Nothing for Syracuse. Referees allowing the play to go on after Henry Bordeaux stumbled all across the field there.
Yeah, and Ryan Hall is livid right now, and I don't blame him. I don't understand how that's a no call.
5 minutes gone here in the 3rd quarter. Again, still 5-3 as Darren Toby's going to be called for pushing Neto into the boards. And we'll restart here with Harrisburg on the ball. Chiago and Kerstetter are discussing what they want to do. It's Chiago who runs over it. Here's Kerstetter coming off the boards, looking for Chiago. Like Slavisa able to poke the ball away. Here's Bernardo Forbes down to the left-hand side. Pressure coming there from both Chantel and Kerstetter. Quick restart for Syracuse, but Chiago able to snuff it out. We talked about this with Justin in the first half, how quick the pace has been in this game. So much pressure coming from both teams. Looks no sign of slowing it down here in this quarter.
No, it absolutely has been a very, very fast-paced game, which is kind of surprising when you realize that very early in the first quarter, there was 0 scoring going on up until about what was it, 7 minutes into the first quarter?
Something like that.
Yeah.
I'd have to double check to get the exact score as Birche tried a shot that went off the feet of Slavisa, and Syracuse regains possession with Vitale.
But even on the Heat side, when they couldn't get anything going on offense until late, very late in the first half, the tempo kept picking up. They weren't really slowing anything down.
Ben Raymond had some space on the right-hand side and decided to turn and slow things down. And this is where you start to see Syracuse slow it down just a tad. But this is where, again, like I've said, with Justin multiple times throughout the season, this is where Syracuse thrives in offensive possession, although Yellowbuck is called there on a foul. Harrisburg looking to reset and pick up the pace yet again. Bircher will pass back to Silva, though, and settle things down. But Thompson, nice job getting the ball away from Hugo Silva. And now he has ball. Yellowbuck wide open. Yellowbuck against Silva. And Yellowbuck not able to place the ball past Hugo Silva.
What was that?
Not quite sure, but Yellowbuck now goes to ground. And Syracuse gets a restart. I think Yellowbuck kind of panicked there, seeing how much space he had.
Yeah.
And that's a perfect opportunity missed there for Syracuse.
Yeah, I'd say so. You got to capitalize on those opportunities. You have a wide open net pretty much.
2-goal lead is nothing to hang your heads on high. Still plenty of time for Harrisburg to potentially come back in this game. As Slavisa tried the no-look shot there, but it's easy for Hugo Silva to save.
Well, we saw Joey Tavernier sneak one through the 5-hole of Silva earlier in this game, so maybe Slavisa was trying to do the same thing.
Yeah, that shot a little too weak for Slavisa to try something sneaky with it. Gonzaga and Bosnian Nubi Parapovic battling for the ball in midfield. Late whistle there as Slavisa eventually called for a foul on Gonzaga, and Heat again pick him to pace with a quick restart. Meller with another left-footed shot that this time goes wide. Still Meller trying to fight for the ball against Forbes. Here's Danny DePrima. Duarte tries the shot, goes through the legs of Teixeira, and Coughlin doing his best Superman impersonation there to dive after that ball. Barantoli back over to Andrew Coughlin. Pressure coming here from the Heat. Once again, it's Toby has to get the ball back off the boards and pass back over to Coughlin. Bernardo Forbes, all alone down the left-hand side. Still looking for options as Forbes, so he'll just pass back. Only person in the offensive zone there for Syracuse was Joey Tavernisi. Forbes had no idea he wanted to pass to, so instead he'll go off for a change, and Liam Callahan tries to get the ball away. Instead it's over to David Meller, but Heat this time on a late whistle will give up the restart. And we'll call for an official media timeout here. So 7:16 left to go in the third period. Silver Knights on a 5-3 lead.
We've got a whole bunch of winners from the
Syracuse will restart things here with 7:16 left to go in the third quarter. It's Jake Schindler who's looking long for Bill Yelfa. Good to see Schindler back on the field. It looked to be a nasty right ankle injury. Yellowhawk goes to the ground. Silver Knights fans calling for a foul. Not getting one, though. Here's Nate Bordeaux on the left-hand side off the boards, looking for either Yellowhawk or Raymond. So the ball goes long. Schindler battles Gonzaga winning a 50-50. Here's Ben Pardue now. Gonzaga able to get the ball away for Jake Schindler, and Schindler pokes the ball into the Harrisburg bench. And that's been the theme of the day here. Really fast-paced game between Syracuse and the Harrisburg Heat. Showed it there. Christian Guzman here with Jonah Karp as Syracuse tries to get a goal in this quarter. They might have one here with Bernardo Forbes as he's battering Chantel. Here is Nate Bordeaux, and a great save from Hugo Silva, but no one there to back him up. It's Ben Raymond who has his second goal. Great initial save from Hugo Silva on the shot from Nate Bordeaux, but nobody from Harrisburg there to back him up, and it's easy for Ben Raymond to run right down the middle of the field to pick up his second goal of the year, game, I should say.
Well, we saw that in the first half also. That was the Slavisa Ubi Parapovic goal early in the first half, and it's just a matter of being at the right place at the right time. We saw a lot of this already today. Joey Tavernier, for example, I think it was his second or third goal, he scored off the seat of his pants. And that was just because he was in the right place at the right time. And that was a little nifty tic-tac-toe-ish type thing. And I guess Silva helped out with that.
Silva did indeed help out with that. Syracuse now has a 6-3 lead in. Gonzaga with a shot that forces Coughlin to dive. Unable to get it, though. And a foul caught on Gonzaga as he runs into Tavernisi. Syracuse with a quick restart here as Vitale now looks for Slavisa. Slavisa with a nice turn against the Prima, going down the right-hand side. Slavisa off the boards, trying to look for Tefnisi there, and it falls there and Toby. Nice pressure coming for Neto, but Toby able to settle it down. For Ben Raymond, he's now reached double digits in goals. That's his 10th of the season. And it's been an excellent sophomore campaign for the Baldwinsville native out at the University of New Hampshire. It'd be hard to see this team without the contributions of Ben Raymond this season. Just had an excellent improvement from his sophomore season, where he didn't score anything in his rookie campaign. Joey Tavernisi might not have an opportunity for his fourth, but again, that's another one-on-one opportunity with Silva that Syracuse hasn't been able to capitalize on today.
Well, Joey Tavernisi had his back turned to Silva, so he had to then turn around and score. It was like he was trying to score backwards.
Slavisa now all alone. He pushed to the ground by Neto. And I'm surprised there's no blue card coming out, as Slavisa just got shoved to the ground by Neto. But it's definitely a foul nonetheless.
Well, here's another opportunity for Syracuse to capitalize. A couple of point-blank opportunities right in front of the net, right in the center of the box that they couldn't capitalize on. Let's see if they can get one back here.
This is a perfect opportunity for the left foot of Slavisa. He'll pass it off for Canardo. Forbes!
Well, that was a beautiful feed from Slavisa Ubi Parapovic. Jake Schindler was in between both Slavisa and Forbes. It looked like Slavisa was trying to get to Schindler. Instead, he found Forbes on the left side, and Forbes put it in.
I'm actually not sure who got the last touch on that, if it was Slavisa or Schindler before they got over to Canardo Forbes. Notwithstanding, though, it is still a goal for Canardo Forbes. His first this game. Now he moves to 193 points in his Syracuse Silver Knights career, and a 4-goal lead for Syracuse is restored.
And we saw Slavisa Ubi Parapovic reach that 200-goal plateau earlier in this game. Now it's up to Canardo Forbes, the team's captain and the guy who's been here for all 7 seasons. Let's see if he could do something.
Canardo Forbes, along with Domenico Vitale, Darren Toby, and Slavisa Ubi Parapovic, the long-standing members of the Syracuse Silver Knights, have been here all 7 years that the Syracuse Silver Knights have played at the Onset War Memorial Arena. And it is 7-3 Syracuse over Harrisburg. Leonardo battling against Toby. Here's Kirsten. Chicago that was in the corner there, and he was looking for Miller, but not able to find him as Pardue and Yelovak collide. It's been a physical game as well as it hasn't been fast, as Miller with another left-footed shot. Not able to find the back of the net, though. Under 4 minutes to go in this third period. Goals from the Heat coming from Danny DePrima and David Miller. Goals for the Silver Knights in this quarter coming from Ben Raymond and Bernardo Forbes. 7-3 is where we stand right now. As Gonzaga picks it up in his defensive zone. We'll pass back to Silva. Over to DePrima, back over to Gonzaga. Now has Duarte. Harrisburg looking long for some offense here. Instead it finds Bo Yelovak, and Forbes able to poke it. Tried to poke it back to Slavisa, and Schindler just pokes it back into the Harrisburg half. Three minutes now. See Harrisburg now slowing down the pace as they just try and look for offensive opportunities. Not getting one here though, as here comes the Silver Knights, and now it's Syracuse who slows it down after Forbes passes it back to Schindler. Savisa over to Fatawe. Andrew Coughlin. Coughlin. Slavisa back over to Coughlin. Now Coughlin looking for Slavisa. Gets a foot on the ball. Now he's looking long for Tavernier. 3 goals already to Tavernier's name today. Tried to turn there. Bernardo Forbes in front of goal. Slavisa over Popovic! Second goal for the Bosnian today. And the 5-goal lead matches the Silver Knights' largest lead of the day.
Well, once Slavisa Ubiparpovic gets that much space around him, that left foot just does the rest. That is unstoppable. Talk about a superhuman type.
And now we've got something messy coming here as both benches are coming together in argument. You can see Hugo Silva is also now in the bench. Ryan Hall is reaching over the boards, screaming at someone. And now it's getting testy between these two teams. Referee's blowing the whistle here. I'll talk to Denison Cabral about what exactly is happening.
And Ryan Hall knows these players well. Keep in mind, it wasn't too long ago that he was a player himself.
Indeed, even know some of the people on this Harrisburg team also. Looks like he was mainly talking to Neto there, the former Syracuse Silver Knight player himself. Yes. Again, emotions now starting to run high. But it's back to soccer here. It's a 5-goal lead for Syracuse. They're again matching their largest of the day. Syracuse show no sign of dropping the pressure anytime soon. So they want to ensure this lead stays. Owen Roberts back onto the field for the first time today. Here is Silva. Looks for Gonzaga. Marked there by Kevin Escobar, who's back on. Gonzaga, left-footed shot goes over the bar and into the netting. So you saw Coach Ryan Hall even now starting to slightly empty the bench a little bit there as well. Kevin Escobar now on to the field, just came back off. Vittorio Petrera is also on to the field. And then we also saw Logan Roberts. People who haven't gotten that much playing time, but Bernardo Forbes now has some space. Trying to look for Yelovak, who had some wide open shot on net. Should the ball have gotten to him, but it was nicely intercepted there by the Harrisburg defense.
I know it's a 5-goal lead right now with 90 seconds to go in the third quarter, but I think it's a little too early to start emptying the bench. We've seen it before here. You know, a 5-goal lead in this sport doesn't really mean much until the final buzzer sounds.
And handball is going to be called on Neto and give Syracuse a restart here. Neto's clearly showing his displeasure. No officials were around Neto at all, and whistle came anyway. Well, Syracuse gets the restart. Savisa will pass back to Andrew Coughlin. And Coughlin playing a slight sleeper keeper here. Yelovak dispossessed though, but Slavisa gets the ball back and it goes back to his keeper, Andrew Coughlin. Here's Granado Forbes. Instead, the ball intercepted there by Thiago, and he runs into Slavisa and takes it to the ground for a foul. A minute 4 left to go in this third period. Silver Knights with an 8-3 lead over the Harrisburg Heat. 3 goals for Syracuse in this quarter. Ben Raymond, Bernardo Forbes, and Slavisa Ubipovic, the goal scorers for the Silver Knights. David Prima, David Miller, the goal scorers for the Heat. And Syracuse almost had their fourth with a nice ball from Jake Schindler. Instead, the ball falls into the feet of the men in purple shirts. Chantel, 41 seconds left. Wide open is Neto. He has to slide to get control of the ball, though. Sorry, that's Ben Pardue, I should say. And not able to find the target. And Harrisburg continuing to put on the pressure that they have the entire game as well. There's Yelovod being pressured across the boards. Thiago trying to fight across Schindler. And Yelovod there, and the ball able to wrestle back over to Silva. 7 seconds left for the Heat in this quarter. Silva looking long. Trying to find Neto there. 1 second, and there's the horn. 8-3 is the Silver Knights lead. 3 goals for Syracuse in this third quarter. Only 2 for Harrisburg. It's a 5-goal lead as we enter the final quarter of play.
So we're here between the third and fourth quarter with your Syracuse Silver Knights leading 8-3. I'm here with my buddy Jackson. Spider-Man. He thought I was a little bit. So Jackson, let's go give away some t-shirts. Well, the lady that dancers hop on the field for the one last time today. Let's watch the lady like dancers. You can stand still, everybody. Great job, lady night dancers. Wait a minute, everybody. Look at that.
Fourth quarter coming up here between the Syracuse Silver Knights and the Harrisburg Heat. Christian Guzman here with Jonah Karp as Syracuse has matched their largest lead of the day with 5 goals. Their advantage over the Harrisburg Heat. The MSL and MITRE share a long-term version of the Arena Soccer Grow in North America. MITRE's Astro Division Ball is the official game ball for MSL League play. MITRE's Astro Division is designed specifically for play on artificial surfaces, features a more accurate flight than the average ball, and has a 30% reduced bounce to make it play more effectively in arena soccer. More physical natures coming to this game as Patrick Thompson gets dispossessed there by Taylor Fabian. Nice job there, and Neto and Thompson could go at it. It's been a high-pressure game, and even though the Heat are down 5, showing no sign of slowing that high pressure down.
Well, we kind of saw it toward the end of the third quarter that when the emotions started to run high, the Heat ramped up the pressure both on offense and
Neto
defense.
almost tried the beautiful bicycle effort. Fabian not able to get it home either. And the Silver Knights fans roar as Coughlin is doing his best to keep the Heat off the scoreboard. Excellent job there from the Baldwinsville native as Schindler gets the ball long for Bordeaux. Chantel running it down as well. It's Marcus Chantel who uses that big frame of his, 6'2", 200, to get the ball away from Bordeaux. But Bordeaux able to get the ball away from Chantel. He battles Kerstetter. And Bordeaux settles things down here for Patrick Thompson, former Harrisburg Heat player. As Birche gets the ball away from Thompson, Harrisburg gets the ball. Going back to your point, we did see the emotions run high, and you can see that both of these teams are just show no sign of letting up, and I think that's a good sign for both teams, showing that they're still willing to play a full 60 minutes of soccer here.
Well, these are two teams that see each other a decent amount. They're in the same division. They're both in the East, but they're on two different ends of the division right now. Syracuse eyeing a playoff spot. Right now, they're sitting at 9-7 on the season. They're second in the East. Meanwhile, Harrisburg is, at the basement of the division, 5-13, and they've lost 5 straight games. So you can imagine they're a little bit frustrated right now.
Yeah, they're probably even more frustrated after losing a tough game to the Florida Tropics back on Friday. At 5-2 loss to Florida. The other team has, that's a great goal from Birchie. That's Birchie's second goal of the year. Ironically, both of them have come against the Syracuse Silver Knights, and both of them are very, very similar with long shots that just catch Coughlin off guard. There's almost nothing you can do about that.
No, absolutely not. Birchie putting it in from the parking lot, really. That was quite impressive.
His nickname is actually El Bazooka, and that kind of shows it there. Essentially.
Are we talking about bazooka gum?
I wish I was.
Okay.
Yeah, Birchie shooting it from the Carrier Dome, able to get it here into the net of Coughlin. And now the Silver Knights lead is down to 4. 8-4 to lead here for Syracuse. Still pushing for a goal. Nice 1-2 there from Darren Toby and Nate Bordeaux. But the pass from Toby was just a little bit too hard, and now Harrisburg wants to break. And Gonzaga with a low effort that is easily saved there by Coughlin. Coughlin over to Visa. Here's Forbes. And back over to Coughlin. Harrisburg slightly dropping off the pressure, but Syracuse still able to keep the ball here. Toby passes it over to Nardo Forbes. 3 minutes gone in this fourth quarter. 8-4 is the lead for Syracuse. Here's Jake Schindler. That right ankle / foot of Schindler looks to be fine after a slight injury scare in the third quarter as Joey Tavernier not able to control the ball down the left-hand side. There'll be a Harrisburg reset.
Yeah, there was a slight scare in the third quarter there where Schindler went down and came up hobbling and then actually went back down again briefly. But as he approached the bench, we saw that Schindler was starting to recover a little bit. He was still walking a little bit gingerly, but he was able to walk back under his own power, and now he's back on the field. It's good to see that he's fine.
I haven't seen Douglas Dos Santos yet after he was also taken to the ground and stayed down there on the ground on his back for a good amount of time for the Harrisburg Heat. He's sitting up on the bench, which is a good sign as well, but I haven't seen him much yet, and a foul is called on the Silver Knights, and you can see the displeasure from the Silver Knights bench. They didn't like that call. As the quick restart here comes from Chantel.
And Kerstetter's a little shaken up.
Yeah, Kerstetter is hobbling back to the bench. Temporary 4-on-5 here for the Heat as they get a fresh man back onto the field. Jago took a nasty deflection there, and Coughlin able to just recover. Now pushes the ball out to Yelovot. Tried to get around his defender, and Savisa takes DePrima, it looks like, down to the ground, but it's Schindler who recovers. Turn it back over to Raymond. Punches it over to, looking for Thompson, I should say, but DePrima picks the ball up, and now Yelovak trying to battle DePrima. It goes back to Silva. Gonzaga back to DePrima, and now here is Hugo Silva. Silva looking long, trying to find Neto, but it's headed away by Jake Schindler, only as far as DePrima. DePrima has two men closing in on him. It's Lavisa and Tavernier closing in on Silva, and the pressure there, able to force an unsettled situation here at midfield. Tavernier and Forbes doubling Gonzaga, and DePrima gets the ball long, looking for Neto down the left-hand side. Schindler battling against Neto, and it's Bordeaux able to get the ball away. Coughlin clears it with his right foot.
Syracuse looking like they have a little bit of a second burst of life right now. About midway into the fourth quarter, and they're on top by 4 goals. That's good to see. They're still pushing on offense.
You know Ryan Hall loves that as a former defender himself, loving to push and get the ball back any way as possible. Tavernier. That's Bordeaux looking for Toby. Neto pressuring there and passes over to Vitale. Now Conrado Forbes, pressure coming from Thiago. Tavernier couldn't find anyone though. And Forbes was taken to the ground. And it looks like it's a blue card on Harrisburg. And if this is Marcus Chantel going to the box, that's a big, big loss for the Heat. It is indeed Chantel going to the box. So the Heat not able to take advantage of the big 6'2", 200 frame of the former Syracuse Silver Knight. And it'll be the first power play opportunity for Syracuse, or for either team in that matter, in this game.
Well, it looked like over in the far corner that Tavernier and Forbes were doing a little pass back and forth to try to find some open space near the box. And Forbes got it to Tavernier underneath, and he was tripped up, and that's where the blue card comes in.
Forbes looked for Tavernier, and also Ruby Parapovic had a shot there, but Silva able to pick it back up, and he'll try to start an unsettled situation, short-handed situation, I should say, but Coughlin picks it back up. So the power play unit for Syracuse, it's Conrado Forbes on the ball right now. They Bordeaux to his right now on the ball. So we see Ruby Parapovic, Bo Yelovak, and Joey Tavernier. Forbes and Yelovak playing the ball back to each other. It's Douglas Dos Santos who picks the ball up nicely. And now, if the Heat hurry, they have a short-handed situation brewing. Ruby Parapovic able to block the ball away. For the Heat, Stanley DePrima, Lucio Gonzaga, Douglas Dos Santos, and Brad Kerstetter, the penalty kill unit. See, a man on the Heat bench already has a 6th attacker jersey on. So you would assume once this power play ends, Heat will go to 6 attackers. Conrado Forbes with a shot, but it's blocked by Gonzaga. Syracuse on the power play this year is 9 for 25. That's 36%. For the Harrisburg Heat, they're 16 of 27 on power play kills. Gonzaga taken to the ground by Forbes, and the referee's pulling out a blue card for Forbes. You can see Coughlin's actually yelling at Gonzaga, potentially for going down a little too easily. But nevertheless, it will be 48 seconds of penalty kill, I should say 4v4 between the Heat and the Silver Knights. And then after that, do a quick little math here, we'll go to 1 minute and 12 seconds of 5-on-4. And they're going to call last defender on Forbes there. That's another shootout attempt.
Oh, I don't agree with that. But Forbes and Gonzaga were chatting it up and smiling after that. I think Forbes knew that he was had by Gonzaga, and Gonzaga using his veteran presence to, I don't want to say flop, but, you know, he went down a little bit easily. I have to agree with Coughlin. He's clearly fine, and he's about to take this kick.
Yeah, you see Coughlin still trying to plead his case to the referee. But here's the Gonzaga's second shootout attempt in this game. Rarity here in the MASL to see 2 shootout attempts. And now Gonzaga coming way out, and he's trying to set up a man, and he does so successfully. Looks like that's Neto there, who crashed into the boards and able to score. Another Silver Knight also crashed into the boards also. Not sure who exactly that was. It might have been Nate Bordeaux, but the trainers are coming out.
Yeah, Ben Raymond was motioning for the trainers to come out. We can't really see from our angle who's hurt or what the injury is, but
The man is back up on his feet. Still can't see from our angle
Yeah.
who that is. But hopefully he is okay. It looks like it's actually Ubi Parapovic who might be the injured one there.
oh boy.
A little hug there from the two former teammates there in Neto and Ubi Parapovic. Scary moment here at the on center.
And that's his left foot, Christian.
That would be a big, big loss for Syracuse moving forward if Ubi Parapovic is forced to miss any extended time.
He is walking, though, albeit gingerly, but he is walking. So that's a good sign for Silver Knights fans.
So
But
now,
right now, if you're focusing on this game, it's now only a 3-goal game. And there's still 8 minutes to go.
yeah, Neto with his goal, able to make it 8-5 for Neto. That is his 14th goal of the season. Give Gonzaga his 5th assist only of this season. And you can see Ryan Hall and Denison Cabral are actually discussing here what exactly is supposed to happen now after the shootout goal. You would assume that the penalty on Forbes would be released and that Syracuse would actually still have some penalty time here, as because Syracuse hasn't scored, that means the penalty on Chantel will not be released yet. Forbes is on the field, so it looks like it will be 5-on-4 right now here with Syracuse still going on the power play.
Well, they have yet to fix that on our scoreboard. But it looks like there's still some confusion down on the field.
Yeah, officials are still talking it over. For right now, the teams are playing this like it is 5-on-4 in favor of the Silver Knights. As of right now, it is an 8-5 advantage for Syracuse. And instead, we'll take an official timeout while the officials try and settle things here. Still anyone's game, though, after that goal. It's only a 3-goal advantage. And with 8:04 left, still plenty of time for Harrisburg to potentially make a comeback. We'll step aside here. Silver Knights holding on to a 3-goal lead.
Babies Bombay Band, let's hear it for them tonight. Let's hear it for everybody from Baby Bombay. Thanks for coming out. Thanks for all the great musical art and singing you guys brought us. Great job. Thank you so much. Babies Bombay.
So we restart here, and then Syracuse, who still has the power play. We'll have 37 seconds of power play left here in the quarter. Hey, Bordeaux, great save by Silva. Now 30 seconds for Syracuse after Lucio Gonzaga and Elmo Neto tag team for another goal for the Harrisburg Heat. It's now 8-5 in favor of the Silver Knights. Still 20 seconds of power play left here for Syracuse after a foul by Marcus Chantel sent him to the box. And now here's Bo Yelovac. Yelovac with a small spin, and here's Forbes. Forbes back over to Toby, and now Yelovac. Forbes. Yelovac blocked there by Gonzaga. 1 second left. Chantel now out of the box, and that kills the power play for Syracuse. So we're back at 5-5. Again, that 7th attacker jersey is on a Heat player, as a whistle was blown in. Trouble here for the Harrisburg Heat as Hugo Silva is down in an obvious pain.
That looked like an off-ball injury. Because that was certainly delayed for Silva, but
not sure.
we don't know. Yeah, we don't know the severity of this injury, but this could be crucial as far as the rest of the season's concerned for the Heat. And Silva's still down, clearly in pain.
Yeah, this does not look good for Hugo Silva. We'll step aside here and hopefully wish for the best luck for Silva.
Still looking for my jersey winner, 3768210. 3768210. We need to get some energy here. I'm going to go into the crowd. I'm going to have some Dave & Buster's $10 cards. I'm going to ask you questions. The answer is either A, Dave & Buster's, B, Vino's Pizza, C, Annual Vegas, or D, Domenico Vitale. Hey, Silver Knights fans, over in section 3. I got a question for you. If I needed a tuxedo, where would I go and who would I talk to? You don't remember? If I needed a tuxedo, wanted to dress my best. Here, I'll whisper it in your ear. So if I want a tuxedo, where am I going? Giovanni said, who should I ask for? She didn't even let me get the mic in her mouth, but she's a winner. Here's a large pizza from Pepino Pizza. And she dropped it on the floor. We'll get it for her. Over here, we got some winners. Who's got the best burger in Syracuse? Where would that be? We've got the Angus winner here. We've got a power play burger at Angus. Look at these guys making all kinds of faces. Let's keep moving. We got more questions for people.
We're back here on MASL TV with the Syracuse Silver Knights versus the Harrisburg Heat. Christian Guzman here with Jonah Carr. For those of you who just joined us, Hugo Silva having to come off in this game, clutching his right shoulder or close to the back of his neck area. So the Harrisburg Heat forced to go to a sixth attacker early. Syracuse with the restart. Yelovak fighting in the corner, and it's Harrisburg who gets the ball away. Thiago is the one with the sixth attacker jersey on, as Gonzaga and Thiago able to clear it away. Here's Neto.
Well, this is a great opportunity for Syracuse to pull away from the Heat in this ball game.
Obviously, we all, again, wish the best for Hugo Silva.
Yeah.
Doesn't look like he's in much condition on the bench to potentially return to this game. And here's Bo Yelovak against Thiago. Thiago, nice job blocking it, though. And he gets the ball over to Mellor. Mellor back over to Neto. Now Patrick Thompson, though. Yelovak against Thiago. Looking for Nate Bordeaux, and that shot just goes wide. Here's Andrew Coughlin.
Well, Christian, we didn't really get an angle, a camera angle on what happened to Silva, so all the fans are right now speculating what happened, why is he out of the game. From our angle, we couldn't really tell either. He pretty much just collapsed we hate to speculate. I'd imagine it's a cramp. It's an upper body cramp, which when it happens quite severely, it could be pretty paralyzing. And if that was the case, what happened to Silva, it happens quite often. He just collapsed. He couldn't move his upper body, and as a result, we had a little stoppage of play.
Yeah, no, and it happened off ball as well. We were all
Right.
looking at the ball going back into the Syracuse zone as Teixeira tried to get a ball past Coughlin, not able to. And it goes over to Gonzaga. Chicago really hasn't come forward yet much, playing as that aggressive sixth attacker. So the Heat still playing really 5.5 on 5. Here's Thiago. Maybe the Heat will start to use him a bit more as Thiago does crash the hot foil line. Dos Santos. Over to Thiago. And here's Gonzaga. Over to Teixeira. Bordeaux able to intercept the ball from Gonzaga. Nice spin from Bordeaux. He's going to look long for Bernardo Forbes, who has to beat Thiago to the ball. Thiago able to head it away, though. Forbes gets a foot on it. Tavernier over to Forbes. Gets a head on it, and Gonzaga able to get it away. But Schindler picks it up down the near boards. Jake Schindler off the boards. Gonzaga able to pick it up, and here's Kerstetter. Kerstetter over to Dos Santos, and Thiago back over to Dos Santos. Santos down the left boards. And DePrima has a ton of space. Decides to cut towards the middle now. DePrima pressured there by Flores. Will pass back to Thiago. 4:10 left to go in this game. 8-5 is the lead for the Syracuse Silver Knights. Heat no stranger to pulling together a string of goals, though, so this game not over yet by any stretch of the imagination. Bruno Ramos. Over to Neto. Burche's free, and his left-footed shot, this time not on target. Maybe for Burche, if he moves back like a couple or more feet,
Yeah.
that's the more typical shooting distance for him. Already seen one absolute rocket of a shot past the white line from Burche that has gone in.
Well, right now the name of the game for the Heat, because they have an extra man on the field, is pass the ball around, look for the guy that's open. And for Syracuse, the more time the Heat waste looking for a goal, the better. Because right now there's just 3.5 to go, and Syracuse on top by 3 goals.
And Syracuse gets the ball back in midfield. Here's Patrick Thompson. Pressure coming from all around home. And Jake Schindler battles Kerstetter now for a ball down the right-hand side. And it settles for Domenico Fatale. Now Syracuse look to settle here. Tyler Fabian trying to put pressure on the ball. It's Coughlin who looks long for Nate Bordeaux. Small danger there of a 3-line, but Thiago who picks it back up. And Thiago now running out of his goal. Pass over for Burche, and it's intercepted. Here's Patrick Thompson, and Kerstetter picks it back up. David Miller with a good turn, but nothing going for him, and Coughlin able to pick it back up. Here's Fatale. Back over to Coughlin. Tavernier, and back over to Domenico Fatale. 2:40 left to go in this fourth quarter. The score is 8-5 in favor of the Syracuse Silver Knights. Here's Yelovog back over to Coughlin. Coughlin goes off the boards looking for Fatale, battering against Burche, and Burche punches the ball over towards Kerstetter. Now Thiago. Thiago gets it over to Kerstetter. 2:17 left to go as Harrisburg still trying to find any opportunity for a goal there, but Miller's shot easily saved by Coughlin. Now he has Bernardo Forbes, but Thiago well out of his goal to get the ball into the Syracuse bench. 2:07 left to go in this fourth quarter. Syracuse still holding on to their 3-goal lead. Coughlin looks for Schindler. Schindler now down the left-hand side. Gets it over to Darren Toby. Now under 2 minutes left to go. And the situation now looking bleak for Harrisburg.
I agree, and
Bernardo Forbes tried a centering pass for Jake Schindler, but it's intercepted there by Gonzaga. Still pressure coming from Syracuse, and Douglas Dos Santos has it.
listen, stranger things have happened, but you know what? Bleak is exactly the right word for Harrisburg right now. This is going to be a good win to put on the resume for Syracuse.
In a battle with Florida where every win is so crucial, This might be a good one as Jake Schindler and Canado Forbes had opportunities. Couldn't get Bastiago low. Now Teixeira runs down the left-hand side with Forbes right behind him on his tail. Teixeira now has some space. Nice block from Ben Raymond. It went off the face of Teixeira, and it's saved there by Coughlin. Now he has Canado Forbes. Forbes goes over to Bordeaux. Bordeaux has some opportunities here. Ben Raymond had an open middle, but the pass from Bordeaux not on target. Now under a minute to go. And now it's pretty much close to over here for Harrisburg.
Yeah, I think so. And looking ahead for Syracuse, they have the ambush coming up. So you start to develop a little bit of momentum as you jockey for a playoff spot as the season starts to wind down. Maybe next you have St. Louis at home. Maybe you get something going as the playoffs are the next thing coming up.
Chago battling Joey Tavernier. Tavernier might have got the ball into the goal, but no, that one's just off target. DePrima closing off Yalovok. Next weekend should be very interesting to watch for both Syracuse and Florida. Syracuse 2 games at home versus St. Louis, while Florida has a tough task. 2 games at home versus the San Diego Sockers. This upcoming weekend could very well decide who gets the second spot in the MSL Eastern Division for the Ron Newman Cup playoffs. But for now, it's Syracuse with the 8-5 win over the Harrisburg Heat. Joey Tavernier with 3 goals as he is able to set a new single-season record for points. So basically, Ubi Parapovic with his 200th point of his Syracuse career. And Syracuse with the 8-5 win. Again, the next game for Syracuse is against the St. Louis Ambush. That game is on Friday, February 16th. Right now, Christian Guzman, joined as always by Justin Porter and Jonah Karp, saying so long from the Onset of War Memorial Arena. Syracuse with an 8-5 win over the Harrisburg Heat.